Welcome to the Thriving Artist Podcast, where we share strategies and support for artists to thrive.
We know that the art world can feel like a lonely place, and we want to provide a network of support, impactful strategies, and an abundance of encouragement to help you grow your authentic art career.
We're your hosts. I'm Jamie Smith.
And I'm Kyalan Butine, and we are also the co-founders of the Thrive Together Network, a community of female and non-binary identifying artists and artists who are caregivers.
We truly believe in community over competition, and we're so glad you're here. Enjoy this episode. Welcome to the Thriving Artist Podcast. Thank you for listening today. I'm Kyalan Butine, one of your hosts, and I am currently working, it's been a few years, but still in progress, on a series just for me that are small quilts capturing old voicemails from my late grandmother. And I'm Jamie Smith. I'm your second host. I've been working on a commission, but I also started extending my series called Mother Time, which is just for me. And I find the mix of the two works, commission work and a series just for me, has been really inspiring to be doing both coincided. I really, really enjoy it. So we're right in the middle of our virtual art residency program here at the Thrive Together Network, and every participating member has set their goals. They've prepped work. Maybe they're doing commission work. Maybe they're doing work just for them. There's all different things that folks are doing. But today we wanted to chat a little bit about why we believe that creating work for yourself as an artist is vital for your art career. As artists, many times we're sort of navigating the expectations of others. We are making work for clients. We're making work that's connected to current trends. We see so many images of art all the time. It can be really challenging to kind of stay in our own headspace and make work that's just for us. But we want to chat about this a bit today and invite you to a space where you shift, your focus inward and make work for yourself if you're not doing that. Because we believe that doing that, coinciding, as Jamie said, or kind of alongside maybe work that you make for others, is just so valuable. And we want to talk a little bit about the benefits of embracing this mindset and how it can be transformative for your art practice. Yeah, I'm going to start us off of why creating for yourself is vital for your art career. And that is authenticity and self-discovery. They rhyme a little bit. They sing song. And yeah, it's just creating for yourself allows you time to really tap into that artistic voice, and it's free from external pressures. And I know we can do that when we're doing work for other people or for a show, but it can really, taking the time to make work that's just for you helps you explore inwards and really can make you think about what you do and why you do it. It's that true self-expression. It kind of takes us back to being a kid and thinking about why we made work when we were younger and it didn't, quote unquote, mean anything. It wasn't going anywhere. We weren't trying to be anything. So I think it's a beautiful space to make work in. It helps also for you to discover your own artistic preferences, your own themes, and your own visual language and style, which can be, I know for me, it took years to kind of find my voice in my work. And partly was because I was looking outward a lot. And so I think coming inward can really help move that forward, which is very exciting for me. Definitely. I'm going to move us to reason number 2, because it's very well connected to this. And, another big reason that we believe it's important to create art for yourself is just for personal growth and exploration. It really helps you move inward and think about what you value, what you care about, and, kind of what you're feeling. You get to explore your own emotions, your thoughts and experiences, and that can help you better understand yourself, which is part of personal growth, right? Is learning who we are, kind of coming back to who we are in a way, and getting to understand ourselves even better. This can be hard to do through art when you're making work for a client, or, you kind of have the external pressures that we've talked about of work that is specifically created to sell at a certain price point or to do something out in the world. But, we do believe that personal growth and, working on ourselves as people can go hand in hand with with growth in our art career, right? If we're, kind of doing some inward work and thinking about who we are and what we are, that can really be a great catalyst for growth in the kind of art that we make and how we show up for ourselves as artists. So we definitely recommend, that as another reason for making work for yourself, is just that it will help you to grow as a person and help you better understand yourself.
I know for me that personal growth is typically where I see a jump in sort of the next level of my art practice or even my art business. It can be these sort of milestone moments that I've changed, and then the work grows with me. So I really think that that's a good point.
Definitely.
I'm going to move us to reason number 3, why creating work for yourself is vital for your art career. And that is creative freedom and experimentation. And I really saw this when I did my Mother Time series. That was a series that's literally just for me. And I put on a show for Taking Up Space in 2022. And I was able to try printing on fabric. I tried digital print. I did my woodcuts. So I had these big wood hanging sculptures. And those are things that would have never happened if I had been, in a group show, or if I had been in a show where there was requirements. I had a show in this last fall, and we had, a size requirement, and that really pushed me to think about what I wanted to create for that, but completely different. I
or
had
making
this
work to
constraint.
sell. Like, I don't think you would have made fabric and covered a sofa and a lampshade if you were like, this is definitely going to sell. That's why I'm making this. Like,
No.
that was much more about you wanting to create this environment for you to experience.
Well, I had a
your
vision
art.
of what it would be, and I didn't let money or time or people kind of get in the way of that. And it really was this creative freedom and experimentation that pushed me so much further. And then that show got accepted to do another show. And there is a ripple effect of it, and it has helped my career. But because it was just this free and experimentation sort of time in my practice, it really jumped me. It really pushed things forward for me. So I really believe that it is vital to have some time to make your own work for yourself.
Well, and this leads perfectly into our 4th reason for why we want you to make personal work, is that it helps you experience joy and fulfillment. And I saw that in you, Jamie. I saw, just the joy of you, although the topic that you were kind of engaged with was a very meaningful one and a challenging one, kind of talking about your infertility journey through your art. The actual process of you experimenting and doing all these crazy things, like figuring out how to print your sketches onto fabric and then covering a lampshade with it. I saw you experiencing a lot of joy and fulfillment in that process, because you weren't doing it for other people. You were really just showing up for yourself and saying, this is something I want to do. This feels good. I'm in this flow. And I just could see, even, from thousands of miles away, that fulfillment that you were getting from creating that work, because it was rooted in passion. It was rooted in this personal thing that you wanted to say, this personal part of your story that you felt like you wanted validated, that you wanted out in the world, that you wanted to share. And I think that is really, really meaningful. And one of, if not the top, reason for creating art for yourself, I think definitely a contender for just doing stuff that is for your soul, for your insides, not just for the outside.
Well, and, the joy and fulfillment, I'm going to lead us into number 5. Our number 5 is why to make work for yourself is connection and authentic audience engagement. And it's really interesting to see how that show went, because that show was very much for me. I needed to express this journey that I was on of trying to have a baby. But then because I was willing to be so open about it and so vulnerable, and the work was truly made just to be made. You could sense that when you walked in and you saw this installation piece, and there was a real sense of that this was just a personal project that needed to happen. It attracted an audience and it resonated deeply. And I spent a lot of time writing about my work, which I've talked about in the podcast before, of how important that is, because I was able to really connect with people, and it really has led to long-lasting relationships. And, I've been able to, I think, help some people that were going through it in ways that I didn't think about when I was just in it and making it for myself. So never forget the ripple effect you can have when you are truly fulfilled and making work for yourself. And that's not to say that client work can't be that. You can have so much impact. Art in the world is important, whatever form it takes. But I will say, having that, authentic work that's just for you. We all have seen it. We've seen when artists do that, and it really can strike you, and it's deeply moving.
Yeah. And of course, most of what we talk about on this podcast is sort of organization and business strategy, money, and, kind of career empowerment for artists. This episode is not, completely different from our agenda, but it is something that maybe we haven't mentioned as much before. And I just bring that up to say that we're not bashing work that is made for money to sell at all. Like, we all need to pay the bills. And we're just encouraging you that there's just so much value in work that is made for yourself, that you're not making at the beginning of the work because of an external audience, And so whether that is you actually find a way to make your whole practice exist within that framework of you're always just making work for yourself. Maybe that's because you have another job and you don't need to rely on selling your work. Maybe, you get grants or do other things so that can kind of stay your mindset. That is a great and powerful thing. And if you do also have this other, branch of your art career where you make work that is for sale, for commissions, or for other things, we're just encouraging you to always have a body of work or something in motion that is for you, that kind of feeds your creativity, that isn't imposed on by, those external forces. And we just really believe in the power of making work for yourself, because there's so much we can learn and grow from when we're making work in that way. So we hope you're out there participating in our virtual art residency that is happening this month. And yeah, I think this episode is relatable no matter if you're participating or not. So
yeah, and making work is the cornerstone of being a working artist. Whatever form that takes, it's important. And as always, we are here for you. We are cheering you on, and we believe in the work that you're doing as thriving artists.